Searching for some peace of mind. Searching for the silver line.
All right. We're going to get started. We're going to jump in here. Give everybody one more minute, and we're going to jump in and get started. I'd like to be on time. Keep this clock going. All right, here we go. All right, Pastor, you ready? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in right here. This is the Fireside Chat. We just try to get together. This is real informal. This is not something that, you got to be all uptight about. We just want you to relax and have a good time and enjoy yourself. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to laugh a little bit. We're going to learn and we're going to listen. And ladies and gentlemen, it is all my pleasure to bring to you. I'm going to try to do my best introduction right here. He don't really need no introduction. But ladies and gentlemen, it is all my pleasure to bring to you the one, the only, Pastor Keith Battle. What's up, man? I wish I had the reverb.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself, man? So good to see you, man.
Hey, I'm glad. Good to see you too, man. It's been a minute.
It's been a while, man. We was chatting it up, man, for a couple of hours, man. We was, you was just releasing the book.
Yeah.
And we here, man. You know what I mean? How you been? What's up?
Well, I'm doing good, thank God, man. Given this unprecedented time that we're in, but I'm doing good. Actually, making some changes thanks to you. I'm trying what you told me to do. Yeah. I still don't understand alkaline food completely.
Oh, it's the truth.
But I listen to you. I'll tell you offline what I've been trying to do.
Hey, that alkaline is real, man.
I still don't know what all of it is, but it's definitely been a time to really make some adjustments that are healthy, more healthy oriented. Because the people that are most vulnerable in this time, as you know, is people who have compromised immune systems. I think what you were trying to tell me is, man, this is what you really need to be focused on to really prepare yourself, your immune system for just life in general, particularly, during a time like this. So it's been an adjustment, but I've been making progress.
Hey, man, you're looking good. You're looking healthy, man.
I feel good. I feel good.
I like the beard, man. I like the beard on you, man. You gonna keep it?
I ain't cut it off, man. It was a mess. It's actually I just cut it down. It was Santa Claus.
Hey, man, so you know why we're here, man. And I got to say thank you, man, for, first of all, everything that you've been doing in the community, man, for the years and the decades prior to right now, man. Thank you for everything, the words, the encouragement, the time, the effort, the love, and the care that you put into the community, to the people, and to the world, man. I got to say thank you for that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. So we here, man. We're doing this Fireside Chat. Everybody know what it is. We in the pandemic. We smack dab in the middle of some people call it shelter in place. Some people call it a shutdown. Some people call it a pandemic. Some people are quarantining. But it all adds up that we're in the house.
Exactly. That's what we are.
A lot of us are in the house, man. What you say?
At least that's where we're supposed to be, unless we're essential workers.
Hey, if you saw that picture from the wharf, we wasn't down there, conducting business. We was down there having a party.
Wow. Yeah. I wonder what the afterbirth of that, aftermath of that was health-wise.
The mayor shut it down, but I heard they opened it back up a little bit, but not exactly how it used to be, man. So we're gonna see, man. But people are in the house, man. I just wanted to just have just a real relaxed conversation. People are in the house. I mean, how long we been in the house now? What 6 weeks? Month and a half?
I remember we closed our office March 13th.
Wow.
My office, we shut down everything March 13th.
And it's about to be May.
And this one thing about this, I have no idea what the day is. Sometimes, what's the day, man? Like, my days and weeks are just gone off. Like, it's almost May. Yeah, we've been 45 days for us.
I've heard some stories, man. People, of course, we're going to focus on marriage. We're
Okay.
going to cover a little bit about parenting and co-parenting because all of those things are transpiring and happening. And I mean, I've heard some success stories. People are experiencing their significant other like never before in a
Yeah.
positive way. And you got some folk, man, I got some cast man that they give me some phone calls. I like, look, man, you need to go call Pastor Keith Battle
Yeah.
and get yourself some help. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that sparked me to have this conversation because people are winning. People are quasi-winning, and some people are just, they're going through it right now. So I just wanted to just bring you in, man, because I just want you to, share some tips and some conversations. We're going to do some Q&A at the end to just answer some questions, share some stories, some success stories, and then also some people who are going through it. Whether you're a co-parent, you're a parent, you're separated, you're married, contemplating separation, all of those things, or if you're in a relationship right now, you then decide to, and y'all, the pastor's on here. So if you're not married and you're in the house, about to have a conversation about that too. But just to answer those questions, we're going to start.
When you think about what trouble does, it's like it reveals. Like people think this pandemic has caused a problem in my relationship. It didn't cause a problem, it revealed it. It's like relationships are sort of like tea bags. You don't know what you got until it's in hot water. That's
Wow.
when you know what you're really working with. And I think the busyness that we were in, the hectic schedules that we had prior to this pandemic allowed a lot of dysfunction to go unnoticed because it was masked by busyness. And when everything slows down to a grinding halt, we then see face to face what was already there all the time. But we had so many outlets. We could go bowling, we could go hang out, we can go happy hour, we can go shoot hoop, we can do all these things to kind of mask it. So now, whether somebody has a great relationship or somebody has a challenging relationship, it was that way before the pandemic. The pandemic just kind of exposed it. So now what do we do now if we're in a good place or we're in a challenging space? You don't really need to say much to people in a good space, but just keep up the good work, right? Keep doing whatever's got the vibe going. But if you're in a challenging space, I wouldn't say give up on it. I would say, here's a time to really focus on, what we really need from each other. Like having those kind of conversations, like, things that I realize that I need in this relationship is X, Y, and Z, and having a conversation about it. And, developing habits now that we can take back into normalcy when we get like I try to practice them. I think relationships are built on habits and tools. Like I can't fix anything if I ain't got the right tools. And my habits actually are the result, get me to wherever I'm going to end up, whatever my habits are. If I get up in the morning and I drink coffee every morning, or if I get up in the morning and I read the paper every morning, I get up in the morning, I work out every morning, I get up in the morning, I have meditation or prayer or some spiritual exercise, whatever my habits are will show up at some point down the road. And I'm saying relationship habits create the kind of relationships that we ultimately want. And I can want a great relationship, but if I don't have the habits in the relationship on a systemic level, then I'm not going to get there just wishing I had a better relationship, but I don't have the habits. You know what I'm saying? I can wish I was in shape, Bobby, right?
Right.
But my physical condition is always revealed in my habits.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, I can't wish myself healthy. I've got to behave myself healthy. And the same is true in a relationship. It's just that a lot of people don't know what habits and behaviors to put in. And I would say it starts with anything that will connect you as a couple. If you're spiritual, pray together or share affirmations together. That's a powerful one. Affirming one another is a powerful ritual. In a world where we might crave appreciation somewhere else, the place to get it, the place where we should hear it the most is at home. Like if your wife is your biggest cheerleader, you don't pass the exit going home. You don't slow that. You ever been in a relationship where you just like you take your time going home? You're like, I don't even want to deal with this. That's how happy hour got the name. Be mad at work for 9 hours, mad at home for 6, And only time we happy is the happy hour to get drunk so I can go home and face what's at home.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow. Speak on it.
Oh, you know, I get to talking. I get to talking too much, man. So
No. You rolling, man. Hey, Pastor, you know how you roll it, man. That's what we're here for. Those are questions. People are listening, man. People are coming in, and that's some good stuff, man. Because people, I don't want this to be the thing that where, you know, everybody's losing, because it's a lot of people. A lot of my friends are winning. I got one couple, man. They are literally, they can't keep their hands off of each other, and they're loving it. They have the time because their schedule was a little different before the pandemic, but now it puts them smack dab in the house. They got older kids, 13 and 14. So so my homeboy said, come like 9 o'clock. They got a little man cave that's disconnected and detached from the house, and he said they're having a party every night.
I love it. Good. I'm happy for them, man. I wish that on everybody. I wish everybody could say that. I think part of the pandemic has created a level of fear with people who have compromised health challenges. So if you're married to somebody who has a neurological problem,
wow,
you know, they have asthma or they have some kind of COPD or something, and let's say you go out of the house, you know, you might just you gotta go for a walk or whatever, or you gotta go to work. There's a level of apprehension that has caused some distance in relationships that people just need to be sensitive to, because for those who don't have it, see, you know, the guy that your man has got the man cave out disconnected, where they throwing down at night every night and having a great time.
Yeah.
We would love for that to be the rule. That's probably, unfortunately, more the exception. And because one of the things we're hearing about, not just in my profession, but in the law enforcement world, is that the domestic violence cases have gone through the roof.
I heard that.
People are kirking out on each other, man. Like snapping. Like people are snapping.
But like you said, that was something that was happening before. It was already boiling and festering before. Come time where you have to be in close quarters for now going on 6 weeks, here is the domestic violence.
Boom. Yeah. It was a time bomb that was ticking. COVID-19 just detonated it. It just detonated it, right? And I'm saying, so now that we see, and even in an example, say the example of your friend with this explosive sexual relationship and they just having the time of their life, like paying attention to what healthy habits they had in their relationship to make this such a good time. Because the bed is always a reflection of the rest of the relationship. Like you can't fix the bed in the bed.
Say that again. Wow.
Wow. You can't fix the bed in the bed, because sex at its best is not just physical. It's emotional. It's trust. It's love. It's you mean the world to me. It's like, and if I don't trust you, I can't really connect with you in sex. I can pleasure myself. I can use your body for pleasure, but I can't connect with you.
Okay.
It probably experiences a high level of connection, but I'll guarantee you that connection that they're experiencing in that man cave is connected to smiles in the kitchen, little love notes. Hey, can I help you? Learning how to respect each other, how to talk to each other, how to resolve conflict. Like if you don't know how to talk together, financial agreement. Like just somebody being financially irresponsible can mess the bed up. So we want to fix it in the bed, but no, you got to bring your check home. Stop blowing your money on shoes.
So what do you do when you're in a situation now where you actually you had a job, you were rolling, you know, paying the bills, but all of a sudden you one of these unfortunate folks that lost their job because of the pandemic, and now you was fine before, but you don't have that money now. How would somebody in that situation deal? The money is now tight, whereas it wasn't tight before, and that may be causing a strain in the bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people who are in a situation like that, I'm going to say something that's going to seem counterintuitive and maybe a little insensitive, but I think we got to deal with the whole picture. Financial responsibility and stewardship requires us to have a financial plan in feast and in famines, in bull markets and in bear markets.
Hmm.
in lean times and in lavish times. What is my financial system? Because when I get income, you have to use your feast to feed your family.
Hmm.
I think is too many people who are you can be 46 years old, Bobby, but have a 17-year-old mentality with money.
Hmm.
And a 17-year-old will always eat his dinner in the morning.
Wow.
Like what you have to do is you don't consume everything that you've earned. You have to store some of it.
Hmm.
For periods where there is lack, for periods where there is a downturn, a layoff, a cutback in hours, you throw aside money so that I have something that feeds my family. My feast is there not just for celebration. My feast, my big days are there to throw something at my family because famine is coming.
Family is coming. Mm-hmm.
Something gonna break down. Something gonna get broke. Kids gonna need braces. Somebody need to go to college. Some unexpected expense. Somebody needs to be buried. Some medical crisis.
Right.
Like if we don't learn how to throw a part of our feast into our future and have set aside, and that should be a minimum of 6 months. But we haven't been in this pandemic for 6 months. So anybody that strategically did their money that way and has 6 months of living expenses is really not in crisis just yet, particularly if both people have done it. Having said that, because I didn't want to eliminate that, because we still need to be responsible going forward, because one day we're going to come out of this, right? What do you do now when you're unable to generate income and it's impacting your sexual relationship? I think stress does two things. When you have financial pressure, you have stress. Stress impacts your immune system, and it impacts certain hormones that actually make a person sexually aroused. The body responds to hormonal activity. And so sometimes it's a combination of the emotional pressure that is on a person that's keeping them from being responsive. We as men don't usually have that problem. All we got to do is see our wives naked and shoot, there goes the stress.
Right.
I'm ready. Everybody doesn't just shut up, can't flip their switches off and on like that. So I would say having conversations about it, like, what do you need from me? What would you like for me to do in this time? How can we work together? Watch this. What's in our coffers, Bobby? Like, people got to look at what's in their closets and what's in their garages now, and where's their excess that we can get rid of and sell and generate some revenue that way. Like if you got $25,000, $30,000 worth of vehicles or motorcycles, etc., that you're not even driving, hey, that can buy you some time. But you got to make some detachments. You got to have some detachment. But this is my, this is past dinner. Some people got watches in their house that can cover a month's expenses.
Wow.
When you haven't saved, you got to make adjustments. And a lot of us, it's in our closet, it's in our jewelry box, it's in our coats. You got a shearling fur now. Maybe it's not as important as getting some margin, right?
That's right.
And that's not an indictment. Cool, you were able to get it. And you can sell that stuff on platforms. People going to get a better deal buying it from you than they will. And there people are still buying stuff right now. It's just all online. So I would say things like that could help, but you have to talk. My biggest concern, Bobby, is for couples that are not talking. That's scary to me. And sometimes they're not talking because they know everything will escalate into an argument. So they choose to keep their distance, but that's not fixing it either. And one of the ways, I'm trying to think of the best way of giving a tool, because there's so many tools to help with communication. Ways you can go on my website, sagacitycompany.com. You can download a tool on just communication. How can we talk through a difficult situation? Sagacitycompany.com. How can we have conversations? There's a bunch of relationship tools on there, just about how to have a difficult conversation without it becoming worse. And I think that's the key. Whatever it is, can we talk about it without going to our separate corners for safety, or fighting, or freezing, or flighting, or disappearing? We have to be able to converse about it. And sometimes you got to go to a counselor and get a third party to help manage the conversation so that everybody's heard.
I like what you said. I mean, when we were speaking a couple of years ago, when the book came out, and you were saying, you know, some people may need to go to counseling and see you and spend time, maybe some years in counseling. People go to counseling 2 or 3 times. That's like the average person. They go to 2 or 3 times. It took 15 years to create that problem, but they want to come to counseling for, you know, 2 or 3 times and then think that it's going to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, just speak on that. I mean, how long do some people, what is the time frame for somebody that has an issue to go through counseling? What is your normal time scheduling that you would recommend?
Yeah. The speed at which people want to correct long-term problems is absolutely amazing to me. That's why the plastic surgery industry has gone so well. Because I don't want to go long-term. Just cut it out, cut my stomach out, cut my breast off. Just do that. Like we go in and I'd rather do that. Well, you can't plastic surgery emotions. You can't fast track changing people's behaviors, their history, their thinking on relationships. You can't just fast track that. We could spend weeks just talking about how to get on the same page about finances. We could spend weeks talking about it, coming up with a sexual agreement. Like, what does a sexual agreement involve? Maybe frequency, style, location, environment. Sometimes people want to have sex, but the house is too cluttered. There's too many kids around. Like, can you create an environment? We call it vacation sex. Same couple that's not having sex in their home can go on a trip, and the wife is like hooking the man up like every day or every other day, and he's wondering, why I gotta take you to the Bahamas to have sex? Well, it's not just that. What happened is her mind was freed up to be available sexually. She didn't have to do homework with the kids. She didn't have to cook the food. Somebody else cooked it. We go into a restaurant. She didn't have to make up the bed. She didn't have to clean the room. She could throw a towel on the floor and say, we want fresh towels. She didn't have to worry about anything else, but her mind could shift into being fully a wife. And I think
that's really sending me somewhere, because when you say that, I mean, all of those things are happening right now times 10, because people are in the house. I mean, everybody, all parents with school-age kids have now turned into teachers, full-time chefs. I mean, people cooking 3 or 4 meals a day. You know, these kids ain't got these school stomachs. They got these at-home summer stomachs where they taking 3 meals and 4 snacks. So you cooking every day, you're cleaning, and for the people who are still blessed, they got their job too. So, I mean, Pastor, what is that doing to the common marriage? What is that doing? And I mean, and it's like, I know some people, and the reason why I want to have this conversation, because I wanted somebody to hear that it is a solution. It's a way out. Some people are not going to call. They're not going to, get the advice. They're talking to the wrong people. How does one manage with all of these new duties that are in place because of the pandemic?
Unprecedented. Unless a person was already homeschooling and doing that, most of us have been traumatized by this time to be thrust into that role. One of the things that is important is if kids have any type of structured schooling that's coming in through technology. Let's say they go to school when they have class scheduled times, 10:45, you're in this class or whatever. That's a time, first of all, let me back up. The key to all of this is flexibility. If you're not flexible in this time, it's going to be difficult because we're all trying to figure this out. We're all trying to find a rhythm. It's like when a DJ is playing music, but you can't really dance because he keeps, one of them DJs just keep on mixing and mixing. You get your groove, and then he's reggae, and then he calypso, then he funk, and he
all over the place.
Like, dude, just finish my song, right?
Right.
What this pandemic has done is thrown our rhythm. So we don't have a rhythm, and so for the children finding their rhythm, like, where's the child learn best? Is it out on the deck? Is it laying on the floor? Like, don't make them sit at the table because that's their home. They're not used to learning in the home anyway. If maybe upstairs in their room, like there has to be a level of flexibility so we can find the rhythm. Because my guess is we're going to be in this for a while.
Right.
So throw all the rules out find out what's working and be flexible and patient because this is crazy. It's hard on the kids too. Before I talk about how hard it is on the parent, you talk about being away from your friends. Your parents ain't your friends. They're born. Being away from teachers, being away from social activities. This is hard on them. And the younger the child is, the more difficult it is for them to process. If my parents are here in the house, let's say the parents are teleworking, the assumption is my mom and dad can play with me. But I'm working. Well, can't you play with me? They're not used to being at home with their mom. And the mom got to work because mom used to drop you off at daycare. So it's hard on everybody. And I'm saying, and every family will find a different rhythm, but be patient enough to find a rhythm. And the goal is, here's what I would hope for all of us, that we come out of this untraumatized and unscathed. What matters the most is that we come out of this loving each other and learning how to laugh and have fun in new and creative ways, like creating new family rituals. This is a great time to have family movie night or do a family play or do a skit where we mock everybody. Y'all play, act like y'all are. How do I act when I'm around here? Just stop the isolation. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So Bobby, a few generations before us, we didn't have televisions. That's a 19th century, a 20th century thing that came. Well, before that, prior to that, our family's entertainment device was a radio. And it was in a central place in the house where everybody would gather around it and they would listen to programming on the radio. When we got televisions, you look in a person's house and the kid has a television, a Mac, an Apple iPad, a video gaming system in their room. Everybody's got their own entertainment in their own room. And so there's an isolation that has been brewing and we've been developing for decades as families. And even if we're watching the same thing, somebody's yelling, "Hey, did y'all see that?" Like from upstairs. We don't even if we're watching the same thing, we won't even come in the same room. So everybody's watching the Michael Jordan documentary from 5 different rooms.
5 different rooms. And
I'm saying, why don't we disconnect the cable everywhere but in one place?
Wow, that's a good idea.
Or just say like, hey, we got a mandatory show. What did everybody? I just think the disconnection needs to be addressed. And I know it's impacting families, but how can we come out of this closer? I think as much tragedy has come with COVID-19, some of the triumphs that can come out of this is we have better habits in our homes that connect better. I'm hopeful for that. I really am hopeful for that. So I would just say one of the ideas is creating new family rituals or revisiting old ones. Reconnect with our kids in a way, and then making sure that we're still taking time out for our spouse to connect. Wow. If it's working and I got the kids, it can be almost an excuse. Well, I don't have time for you. We still got to make time for each other. I'm sorry. I'm going to hurry up because I see the clock's running out.
Yeah, man. So certainly, man, you spoke about isolation, and I want you to give your contact information for people who may need counseling service during this time, because I definitely understand and feel that someone out there definitely needs that. Isolation. The person is by themselves. They don't have children, or their children is somewhere else, or they're a single person and they're isolated in this time. Do you have some words for that person that may be grappling with being alone without their kids, or they may not even be a parent yet, but they're alone right now in this pandemic?
Yeah, when I just put in the chat area, my daughter Asha handles all of my appointments, so I gave you her email address. You can email her and get an appointment with me at any time. See, I think there's several things that people are doing, Bobby, to manage being single and during this pandemic, because this is kind of forced isolation. But even though I think what people are doing now is something we're calling quarantining. And quarantining is people are just deciding, hey, if you're healthy and I'm healthy, why don't we be roommates for a period of time? There are people having healthy, and I don't mean any cohabitating where it's some foolishness. I'm talking about people who are, friends who are starting to, kind of go through this together. But also I think using technology like Zoom, having virtual games, being a part of a community. I joined what is called a caveman basketball league. And what we do is we pick NBA players from back in Bob Cousy days, Oscar Robertson to Michael Jordan to Kevin Durant, you
Oh.
pick your team. There's 18 people in the league. We pick our teams, pick 11 players, and we have to compete against each other. And the way you win or lose, you have to debate. If Michael Jordan's going against Dwayne Wade, who wins that matchup and why? Or whatever. Daryl Dawkins versus Caldwell Jones or whatever. And it's stimulating to my mind because I'm competitive. But I just met like 15 new dudes I didn't know because one of us had mutual friends. And we meet 3 times a week, and we have in this league, it's all virtual. We it's crazy, but finding ways to connect using Zoom, using FaceTime, and just staying connected to people, reaching out to people. Have you noticed you said, how you doing to people you ain't said how you doing to in a long time? I'm saying that's what this has done. And checking in on people and being a resource for people, I think can help when you're single and alone, turning their attention from inward to out.
That's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Pastor Keith Battle, man. We got to do this again, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like, I feel like this is the warm-up, you know what I mean? Maybe check in. I know your schedule's all over the place, man, but certainly, man, Pastor, thank you so much. If you want to get in contact with them, ladies and gentlemen, you want to use his services, it's in the chat room. It's right there. You can do the email. You can email abattle@zionchurch.org to get in contact with Asha and make it happen. Hey, brother, thank you so much, man. We love you. Appreciate you, man.
Love you too, man. Thanks, y'all. Nice to meet all of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, everybody off of mute right there. There it is. Give them some love. All right. And we'll holler at y'all in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fireside chat right here. This is what we do. And we'll be back real soon with some more commentary conversation. We thank you so much and thank the great Keith Battle. All right. I'm Bobby Rocks for The Flow and 89.3 FM. And the brand new 10-minute morning show. All right, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time on the next Fireside Chat. Thank you.